What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So today, this seems like an overly basic video, but it's something that I was thinking about because, well, let's just get into it. We have two Lamy Safari fountain pens here, and we have two Lamy All-Star fountain pens here. These two pens, two models of pens, are very, very similar. So when you look at a Lamy Safari, it's, you know, the three-sided section, that interesting fountain pen nib that slides onto those rails. It's a Lamy Safari, right? And they're what, about, give or take 30 bucks, depending on where you get them, right? And they're made out of some sort of plastic, and they've got this clip on them that is pretty standard. So then we come over here to the new 2024 special edition Lamy All-Stars, and this is, I think this is called Autumn Sage, and this is called Autumn Pink. And I got these because I did not have a Lamy Safari. And I was like, it's a model of pen that I don't have, and you know, allegedly it could be an upgrade to the Lamy Safari, because you know the All-Star might be an upgrade to the Lamy Safari, because these are aluminum bodies versus ABS or whatever this plastic is body. They're basically the same pen. So is it worth the extra money? When we look at the difference between the two pens, you could just say, well, it's just an aluminum Safari, right? And it's got, you know, these translucent sections on them, but it's the exact same nib, so it's going to write exactly the same way, etc., etc. So, is it worth buying an All-Star? Which one would you buy? Get in the comments right now and let me know. If you have both of these, which one do you prefer? I'm going to tell you which one I prefer here in a minute. But let's first of all go through these two pens, because these are the new ones. So this is the Lamy All-Star in Sage. Here, let me cap this up real quick. This is the Lamy All-Star in Sage. It's a really pretty color. So, of course, you know, Brianna likes green, so I buy a lot of stuff that's green and I give it to her, and I buy a lot of stuff that is rose gold or purple and give it to Leslie. So this is sort of a rose goldy, this autumn rose, and so yeah, really nice color. It's got a green finial there, black end down here. Really nice pen, and this translucent green is really cool, right? Usually these All-Stars are black translucent, like a smoke translucent. And of course, black hardware and black nibs always get me. So I really, really like that. This is a really cool color. If you don't have an All-Star, I would say get one for sure. This is really cool. It's like a rosy, pinky red sort of section color, which is pretty cool on the autumn pink color. Okay, and we know that they all write the same way. So why would you buy one or the other? Well, obviously this is perceived as an upgrade to this because of it being aluminum. But there's a couple of key differences. Obviously the section feels different. So this plastic in here, whatever they're using for that translucent material, it feels very similar to the glossy plastic section that is on the glossy Safaris, but it is very different from the one that is on the smoked Safaris or the matte finish Safaris. So if you want that matte finish feel, you have to get a Safari because it comes in that matte finish. And when you look at it up real close, like with the macro lens, you'll see that there is a definite texture to it. So if you like that texture, Safari is the way to go. I will say that I don't know what it is, the porosity of these two plastics next to each other. It could just be in my mind, but I'm pretty sensitive to this stuff. I feel like this has a different tactility to it. Maybe it's like a different stickiness, different, I don't know what you want to call it. I'm not saying one's better than the other, but they are different. So they do, the different plastics feel different because they are different, I think. So that is a major thing, right? Is if you want the matte versus the glossy section, you'd have to go with the Safari. The other thing, and you might be able to perceive this a little bit, well, let's talk about looks first. The lettering on the aluminum pens is it's like an outlined sort of stamping. And you can see, obviously this is still a low priced pen, so the stamping work is, I mean, it looks nice from a couple feet away, but when you really look at it up close, you can kind of see it's wrinkly because it's just stamped into the aluminum, which, whatever, I don't care. And it's an outline of the letters, where when we look at this, is this embossed or debossed? I can't remember which is which. The Lamy logo on the plastic ones is set in there, okay? So that's a difference. The other big difference, and you can see it when you look at the ends of the pens, and you can see it when, I guess if you look at the end finials on the caps, you can sort of tell. Because these are basically, the plastic ones, the Safaris, are basically molded to diameter. I don't know if they're injection molded, however they're made. They have a certain diameter, right? The aluminum ones, the cap and the body of the pen are 0.8 of a millimeter bigger than the plastic ones, because when they stamp the metal, the radiuses on the edges and everything, just because of the way they're made, has to be a little bit bigger. So there's that. So the sections being the same size is one thing, but when you feel the pen in your hand, you will notice, it's weird because it's only 0.8 of a millimeter, but many people will notice that this pen is just a tiny bit bigger around. The plastic one is just a little bit skinnier in the hand. Now, that might not matter to you, but it might. So the section is the same size, but when you let it sit in your hand, that back part of that pen is a different size, which is really super interesting. Also, because of the diameter and the material, they post differently. They feel different when they post. The little plug inside there, and because of the diameter difference, so if you look at how deeply that pen posts versus how deeply this pen posts, you'll see that it actually posts more deeply because the diameter of the material is different, so it allows it to go further down on the pen. So there's something there too. Kind of interesting. Just a couple little differences that you might not have realized between a Safari and a All-Star. These are just things that I've been noticing as I've been writing with them for the last couple of days. Kind of wild. This charcoal Safari is my favorite of all of them because I do like the texture and I like the heavy dutiness of it. I really like it. The other thing is the feel in your hand because of the coolness, right? Aluminum feels cool in your hand versus the plastic does not feel as cool in your hand. So there you go. There's some differences. Let me know in the comments what you think with these pens. If you like one versus the other, they're going to write basically the same, but all these little kind of tactile differences might make a difference to you and your experience, also the color itself. So let me know. Let me know in the comments what your favorite is. We'll leave links to all of them in the description. These two are limited, so you might want to grab those. I'll leave a link to those. There will be a discount code where you'll be able to get 10% off of those too. So let me know if that's something that you're interested in. Just get down there and click around. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you in the next video.